So fragile, like it was built to break off the handle. How'd we get to this place? We're leaving everything behind for new and exciting feelings, but I won't leave you. Will everything we know be lost and changed for something new? Only time will tell, but I'll be holding you. 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 Let's slow down. I wanna live right now. I'm not worried, thinking about tomorrow. I'm feeling everything I need from you. It's all I believe in. I know you feel it too. Will everything we know be lost and changed for something new? Only time will tell, but I'll be holding you. I'll be holding you. close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. See the horizon, turn us to thousands, in wastelands through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
Sleep till I come home. Dream of something sweet. I won't be there soon to wake you so discreet.
find the loudest tears. We said down by the fire, knowing we could aim higher, but we didn't know that yet. So if you want something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here I am, 'cause I've been laying under palm trees, waiting for the summer, knowing there's nowhere to go. 'Cause I am happy on this island, wanna be my farmland. I don't ever want to leave, I'm in a tropic club. I remember the ocean, memories die out too hard. But we were traveling the mountains just to find the loudest tears. We sat down by the fire, knowing we could aim higher, but we didn't know that yet. So if you want something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here I am, 'cause I've been laying under palm trees, waiting for the summer, knowing there's nowhere to go. 'Cause I am happy on this island, wanna be my farmland. I don't ever want to leave, I'm in a tropic club. like I do right now. Don't say you're on the run to the other side, my love. You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose.
Give me reasons to doubt, try to keep me down, but I'll put the flame out, you can't get to me. Throw your sticks and your stones, go break all of my bones. You won't ache my soul, you can't get to me. push me down to the ground. What goes around comes around. You won't put the flame out, you can't get to me. Say what you wanna say, go take it all away, but I'm here to stay. No, you can't get to me. And there is no barricade that I can tear away. Shoot me down, go fire away, away. But I'm a heavyweight. I'm a heavyweight. I'm a heavyweight. I'm a heavyweight.
in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you, 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 won't you let the light shine through? In the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you. I get up, time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. See the horizon, turn us to thousands, and we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And
sleep till I come home. Dream of something sweet. I won't be there soon to wake you so discreet.
first, but here I am.
but sometimes there is a sense that these games don't mean a lot because it's not the match that both of these want to be in.
No, I mean, there is that issue. I think the fact that Belgium have named a pretty strong side, just a couple of changes, as you mentioned. Of course, Meunier is returning, so it's arguably stronger than it was. A chance for Tielemans to impress, but they kept the key trio up top. You've got to make them favourites, I think. England made a few more changes. They've struggled in open play. They were beaten by Belgium in the group stages. Both sides did make changes for that one, but I think you'd have to say maybe Belgium deserved favourites.
Yes, I think so. They had a decent performance in the semi-final, just couldn't quite sneak past France. England, though, on the attack as a long ball is punted forward towards the edge of Belgium's penalty area. It is half dealt with at the moment, though. There's a bit of work to do for Vertonghen. He's under pressure from Loftus-Cheek, but it's come off the England midfielder, and it will be a goal kick to Belgium. Of course, the final is available on this service tomorrow as well. As France are the favourites, you'd feel that, to get the better of Croatia. Just seen shots of Lukaku as well. Mentioned he's on 4 goals in this World Cup there. If he does get 2 and moves level with Harry Kane, and it would be Lukaku that would be leading the Golden Boot race in terms of the number of assists that he's got. He has an assist in this tournament, Harry Kane doesn't. So I think Harry Kane will want to get himself on the score sheet. 7 goals, you'd feel, would be enough to win the Golden Boot. I think 6 goals would have won the Golden Boot in 11 previous tournaments, I think it was, for Harry Kane. So he'll be a little bit frustrated if he doesn't manage to come away with it. As the ball is currently on the halfway line with Witsel. Just lays it back towards the feet of Vertonghen. Now across to Kompany. Alderweireld asking for it on the right, and he does find Alderweireld. It's a good ball and a bit of space for him to run into, just over halfway. Looking for a little bit of support. He plays it down the line now for Meunier. Back to Alderweireld. And just over 3 minutes played, and it's been quite a cagey opening.
Yeah, I mean, both sides are feeling each other out. Loftus-Cheek started fairly aggressively, closing down pretty quickly. Saw an errant pass from at the back from England, which would be a little bit of a worry. Here come Belgium for the first time with Menace.
Yeah, down the left-hand side as Charlie puts in a good cross, and it's into the back of the net, and Belgium have the goal, and it's Thomas Meunier there. He's nipped in ahead of Danny Rose. Danny Rose is appealing to the linesman, I think, for an offside, but pretty much that is like the goal that England conceded against Croatia when Perisic nipped in ahead of Walker there. Rose had no idea where Meunier was, and it's a tidy finish from around 6 yards out.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great ball out to the left to start with. And maybe England just got caught napping there a little bit too much time in the middle initially. I mean, Lukaku's won the header, and it's his ball out to the left. Too much space for Nacer Chadli. Nobody's tracked his run, and maybe Danny Rose just lost his footing. I'm not sure what he's actually appealing for, but he just nipped in front of him, Meunier, and buried it past Pickford.
Opening goal of the game in this third-fourth playoff match, and it's Belgium 1, England 0. A great start to the game for the Red Devils there. A goal inside 4 minutes, and it's one of their 2 subs they've made. Thomas Meunier back into the team from suspension, and he has got the opening goal. It's a bit too much space down the left-hand side for Nacer Chadli as Belgium work it down that flank, and he puts in a lovely ball in towards the edge of the 6-yard area, and Meunier just nips in ahead of Danny Rose there. Doesn't quite know where his marker is or where his opponent is, and that proves to be a bit menacing as Meunier nips in there and just tucks it home from around 6 yards out. It's a good finish. It's a bad start for England. Belgium 1, England 0.
Yeah, it's one wing back crossing to the other. England's wing backs don't tend to get actually in the box too often, but Meunier just showing what can be done. Of course, Lukaku played the ball out to Chadli, and there's no need for De Bruyne or Hazard, so Belgium do have options going forward as England just concede a free kick. Dyer catching Eden Hazard there. Not many complaints from England, although a little bit of frustration from Eric Dyer himself. Not too many others, but it's just the start perhaps the game wanted. We wondered how it was going to pan out. Both sides obviously very disappointed to have been knocked out in midweek, and well, there's an early goal, so that should at least get the excitement going for the neutrals. We'll see how England are going to respond. Yeah,
that is the crucial factor. How will England respond to this? But Belgium have possession there. Hazard with a little back heel flick there, looking for Lukaku. Doesn't quite work, and now Rose can try and bring this ball forward for the 3 lines. She plays it infield towards Stones, back towards for England today, but Pickford has been given that role once again. I thought Pope could have maybe got a go as well, but Southgate decided to stick with the majority of the team that had played most of the tournament. There was 5 changes that he has made as Belgium work the ball forwards, looking for Hazard again, who tries another sort of back heel flick in field. Doesn't quite work, and now Delph tries to spring something forward now, and Sterling's got a bit of space to run into now. He's running at Alderweireld. He holds onto the ball and just allows Delph to come in and get it off him. Now to Rose on this near left side, back to the feet of Delph. Now Sterling will pick it up again. Very deep at the moment is the Manchester City forward. That's a nice ball though, and they're coming forward to Loftus-Cheek. He has Trippier waiting on the right-hand side. He finds him now. Trippier just lays it back down the line. Then a low cross comes in there, and a big left boot gets to that from Vertonghen. Goes straight up into the air. Chadli battling for this one. And I think Courtois is just going to keep this one in. He is. A little bit better from England.
Yeah, some positivity. I didn't think there was much movement from the more advanced players, but Loftus-Cheek stayed in a pocket of space, eventually found, I wouldn't say it opened up because obviously there was plenty of defenders back there. Different kind of ball in from Phil Jones this time. Lowe tried to get it in behind the defence, but it was well covered really by Belgium, but promise of some intent from the Three Lions. Obviously 1 or 2, well there's 5 changes from previous match, isn't there? So there's players out there trying to make a name for themselves and show what could be what they could do going forward for England. Be part of this positivity, but I mean the worry is the break really as Tielemans wins the ball. Here go Belgium. Yeah,
it's Lukaku striding forward now, and he's looking for a little bit of support there. He finds De Bruyne on the edge of the box, and then again De Bruyne tries a back heel this time. We've seen Hazard try that twice. I think that was the wrong ball from Lukaku because Hazard was coming up on the left-hand side on the overlap, and he was unmarked and would have had a good chance or a good sight at goal anyway. And that's just a little bit of, well, miscommunication maybe you'd feel, but Lukaku, the wrong ball to De Bruyne there, it felt.
Well, nobody's tracking Hazard, were they? And De Bruyne didn't see him, Lukaku didn't see him, and he was in absolute acres as England, I think, won a well, the referee's going to play the advantage. Tielemans with a lunge at Harry Kane, concedes a free kick eventually. Doesn't want him to take the free kick quickly, minds, but yeah, the break, there's 2 players and then Hazard's in space, so somebody's not covering something there. That would be the worry. England has seen a lot of the ball since they've gone behind, but arguably Belgium just carrying that little bit more threat. Obviously no other chances apart from the goal.
Yeah, but set plays is where England have been good from in this tournament. No other team has scored more from set pieces than England, so they'll be hoping they can make something of this, although Belgium are adopting a very high line. They're a good 10 yards outside their own penalty area, so they're trying to catch England offside, you'd feel, but Trippier standing over this one. Free kick on the left hand side, looking for Kane in there, and Maguire and Stones as Trippier whips it in there. It's a decent looking ball, but too much on it. Ooh, and there's well, poor defending, but it's turned out to be good defending for Belgium, as I think it was Vertonghen slid in with his left foot there. Didn't need to do anything because it was going to go behind, and it just sort of pops up into the hands of Courtois. We'll see it once again as it comes in. Well, Kompany and Vertonghen are going for the same ball, and well, Vertonghen is very, very lucky there, actually. Could have gone anywhere, that.
Yeah, I mean, it could have easily. I mean, he's trying to backheel it, a backheel volley, and he just got his stud on it. Could have easily put that past his own keeper behind for a corner. And you'd have thought Courtois had just given them a shout to leave it because Harry Maguire had given up on it. Not England's best ball, but here they go again.
Yeah, down the right-hand side, it's Loftus-Cheek now. He looks to get to the byline. He holds on to possession, lays it back to Trippier, puts a cross in there. It's a bit behind everyone, and it's easily headed away by Alderweireld. Maguire will nip in and win the seconds. Now Rose has it, but he's forced to go back or play the ball back into his own half where Stones has possession. Now it's with the feet of Dyer. Or scored that winning penalty against Colombia in the last 16 match, but hasn't had much game time for England in this tournament. Henderson has been the preferred option in that role, but he has his chance today. Delph back towards Maguire, and England just happy to pass this one inside their own half, but decent pressure from Belgium is forcing England backwards. Out to the right-hand side for Trippier now, tries to feed one down the line, looking for Sterling, who's peeled into that channel there, and he's got his club teammate Kompany up against him. Sterling does well though, still holds on to possession and looking for support there. He cuts in field there towards the edge of the box and a shooting chance, and he does have an effort, but it's blocked away this time by the legs of Vertonghen. And now Belgium have a chance to counter themselves. It's Eden Hazard with possession, just comes over halfway there, slides the ball towards the feet of Lukaku. He's coming forward now, he looks to ping a ball over to De Bruyne. It's eventually found De Bruyne though, inside the penalty area. Oh, and a deflected shot there is saved by the right-handed Pickford, who had gone down to his left there, sticks out a right hand and gets something on it. If he didn't, that was going to be 2-0.
Well, I mean, it just looks quite inept, really, from England at the back. There was only two Belgian players up there, and somehow they're getting shots at goal with 4 or 5 defenders. John Stones stretched, missed the ball. And I know it did take a little bit of a deflection, but Jordan Pickford's down on the ground and just flapped it into a dangerous area. Hazard's pretty quick, but just outnumbered in the end. But it could have easily been a second goal for Belgium. Need to wake up a little bit, England, because, as I say, the Belgium aren't really doing an awful lot to get into shooting positions.
No, it's disappointing at the moment from England, but still trailed by a goal to 0. Sterling in possession now as he's pulled out to this near left side. Very deep at the moment, but Loftus-Cheek seems to be playing quite high and advanced as well, close to Kane, as Sterling tries to go past Tielemans, but he's been dispossessed, and now Belgium have the chance to counter it. Hazard with possession just over halfway. Down the left-hand side, now he cuts in field ever so slightly, looking for a few options. He's got Meunier making a run to the right-hand side. He finds Tielemans on the edge of the box. Hazard then gets it back, and he's, well, jinking into the penalty area, but just too many red shirts in his way. But once again, England just look all over the place at the back.
Well, Tielemans won the ball there, and all of a sudden, at the edge of the box, Danny Rose is sprinting to actually mark Tielemans. So somebody, again, has not tracked his run at all. And Hazard on another day might easily have gone down, because I think a challenge came in, and he tried to stay on his feet, which is fair play to him. But the tackling was a little bit rash, I thought, and again more problems for England at the back.
Yes, indeed. There, Eric Dyer was the one that slid in towards the edge of the box, and lucky that he didn't get anything on Hazard there. Otherwise, it would have been a free kick in a very dangerous position. Would have seen replays of the chance for De Bruyne, which was missed by Stones. Somehow found De Bruyne, and his deflected shot off Trippier was saved by the right hand of Pickford. Well, it's still Belgium 1, England 0, and the Red Devils are looking quite comfortable at the moment. They're breaking forward with ease there. England's defence has been very, very shaky. There's far too many players not tracking their opponents, and that's proving to be a bit of an issue. There was another half chance for Belgium as Lukaku tried to spray a ball out to De Bruyne in the penalty area on the left-hand side. It looks like England were going to cut it out. Stones misses it, does eventually find De Bruyne, and then his right-footed shot deflects off Trippier. Pickford's already gone down to his left-hand side, sticks out a right hand, and get something on it to save it. But Belgium are looking good. England very, very shaky, like I said, though, at the back. It's still Belgium 1, England 0.
Misplaced pass from Vincent Kompany, though, was giving England a throw-in high up the pitch. Fabian Delph, just prior to that, tried his luck from 25 yards. Unfortunately, it was on his swinger, his right, and he didn't quite get the connection as Harry Kane stopped in the box by Vincent Kompany. Cross comes in, headed towards goal from Loftus-Cheek. Not enough power, straight at Courtois. Very easy save. A little bit better from England. It was a good challenge from Kompany to stop Kane, but Trippier on hand to pick up the loose ball. It's a pretty good ball in, but Loftus-Cheek didn't quite get his header right. 8 yards out maybe. Not much more than that, and it's pretty weak in the end.
Yeah, he was just trying to sort of flick it towards the far top left corner, I think, was Loftus-Cheek there, and just doesn't get it right, like you said. But Belgium coming forward now, this time down the right. Meunier plays it in field towards Tielemans. He finds Hazard, and he's in far too much space at the moment, Hazard, and they're just exchanging passes now with Belgium, with Alderweireld picking up the ball now. They are forced back towards the halfway line, but Tielemans and Hazard are just playing keep ball on this right side at the moment. Tielemans with the ball in field, and there's loads of room now for Witsel to come forward. He finds Vertonghen, who's joined the attack now, back in field to Witsel, a good sort of 40 yards out. He floats one into the penalty area though, looking for the run there of Meunier. Good header away by Maguire, but England still don't completely clear it. But eventually Rose puts his left boot through this one, and that's gone high.
It's a decent footballer in the middle of the park. We've seen the two wing backs combine. I mean, Chadli plays as an attacker in the Premier League as De Bruyne tries to set through Lukaku, just treads on the ball really, then a second kick to get it from under himself, just kicked it too far ahead of him, and Pickford is able to smother. But again, it's just too simple. He's turned John Stones, Harry Maguire comes across, but a better touch from Lukaku, and maybe it should have been a better touch.
And again, there's no real spark of creativity for England at the moment. Stones will just hold on to this. Now he does find Phil Jones out to the right for Trippier, who is being dispossessed, although a throw-in has gone England's way. Chadli stuck his foot in. That's with Stones just inside Belgium's half. He goes it back to halfway for Dyer. Now forward there where Sterling's got a bit of space to run into. Again, that's a bit of a standstill as his attack, and he just lays it towards Trippier, who plays it back in field for Sterling. Loftus-Cheek now with Stones there, good 30 yards out there. Lays it off to Delph, who's got a bit of room now maybe to have a shot onto his left foot there. Lovely play by Delph into the box. Now Sterling trying to turn in the area, and he just turns into 3 yellow shirts that are around him. Decision making from Sterling there, not the greatest.
No, I mean, maybe he didn't get the shout, but he was taking too long, seemingly. It did look as though Delph was going to shoot initially, but it was a disguised pass. Not just momentarily wrong-footed the Belgian defence, but Sterling's not capitalising. I think he wanted really to return it and then thought, do you know what, I'm in the area, I'll just beat this man. But there's 2 or 3 others just there. He could have done with a shout maybe, because he was looking to his left and the cover came from more to the right. But promising for England. Delph, I think, has made a good start to the game.
Yeah, Loftus-Cheek has the ball now and he's coming forward, and he has Trippier on the overlap, who he finds now. Back in field to Loftus-Cheek, edge of the box there. He drives into the area now, still gets to the byline. Loftus-Cheek there tries to pull it back, and Kompany gets his foot in the way and stabs it behind for a corner. Good footwork by Loftus-Cheek.
Yeah, it's great to play a burst of speed as well. I mean, again, a challenge comes in from Vertonghen. He's dangled the leg out. There is a little bit of contact. You wouldn't say it was a penalty, but it was certainly dangerous from Vertonghen. I thought he could have been helped out by somebody actually making a run towards the near post. I thought England were a little bit static in the middle, but it has won England a corner.
Yeah, like we said, corners, set pieces, England have been good from. They line up in that sort of NFL-style line, and then they all peel off and make their own runs that they've been told to do. Kane and Maguire in there. Maguire has been one of the targets for England from corners and free kicks. Can he get himself a goal? It will be Delph to swing this one in from the right hand side, or Trippier possibly. Just waiting for it to pan out there. It is Trippier. High delivery there towards the penalty spot area. Maguire does get his head on it, but it's an easy save for Courtois in the end.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard work there, isn't it? I don't think Belgium are particularly small as a team, and so it's not going to be perhaps as fruitful, but it's a decent header. It still has to be something special from that sort of range to beat Courtois, 12 yards plus, and plus he's jumping over a man. So it's decent for Maguire, but just not quite decent enough to really test the Courtois.
Yeah, been a lot of reports linking Maguire with a possible move away from Leicester this summer. He's only been there for a season, but he has had a good rise since moving to Leicester from Hull into the England team, and a regular starter for them at this World Cup, as Rose has possession down this left side, puts it in field to Sterling, who will look to turn and maybe have a go. He tries to float one into the penalty area. It's not the greatest from Sterling, it's actually very poor, as Hazard easily gets possession now outside of the right foot, ball up to halfway where De Bruyne has it. Now he'll look to turn and go down the line. He has Dyer in company there, but De Bruyne there stretches his legs and he's got too much for Dyer. Cuts back onto his right foot there. He's waiting for support as the Man City man. Now to Hazard. Chadley now on the left-hand channel. Gives it back to Hazard, and well, he's gone all the way into his own half. He's pinged it all the way towards Courtois. It's about 15 yards outside his box. I'm not sure about that one from Hazard, and that's just taking all sort of momentum out the attack there.
Yeah, I think he was looking for Alderweireld, but yeah, he got it slightly wrong, to say the least. But I mean, De Bruyne didn't have much support there, but I mean that's what he can do. He can pass teams to death, but he's got pace and 1 or 2 skills. And all of a sudden, there's a little bit of panic at the back. England gets stretched. The support wasn't exactly rushing up to help Kevin De Bruyne there. It's the kind of player that England don't necessarily have, certainly not in the starting 11. I guess Sterling's seen as that potential kind of guy, but hasn't quite clicked for him in this tournament. Maybe the criticism is overboard, but I mean, it's that sort of player, Belgium, De Bruyne and Hazard, that just make them look a much better side than England.
Yeah, I'd fully agree with that, as Mounier has the ball down this right and infield to Tielemans, and there's a little bit of space, and it is that man De Bruyne in possession now. He gives it back to Tielemans there, who has not got many markers around him, tries to put in a cross, hits Rose, it bounces down. Belgium pick up the scraps, and it's Tielemans again who'll play it infield towards Witsel. Now to the left where Hazard has the ball, and he might have a run now. It's 2 doubling up against him, and that's a poor pass, although I think wasn't quite on the same wavelength, Chadley, there, as England try and pass this one out from the back. Maguire on the edge of his own box. He finds a nice ball forward to Sterling, who will turn and finds Delph now to his left-hand side, and Delph will skip away from a poor challenge from Mounier, and now England can try and come forward down the left side. It's with Rose. Holds on to it, does have a Kane on the overlap, and Kane does pick it up, and that's not where you really want Harry Kane to beat. Lays it back towards Delph, and again, it's just a little bit slow from England at times.
Yeah, slow. I mean, if Sterling does pick it up in the middle, you want him to run at defenders, but he's getting away from his support. Danny Rose, he thinks quick, but he slowed it down as well. And maybe the options going forward are as limited as has been suggested since the Croatia defeat, of course. But I mean, maybe it's just a patient approach as they go over the top for Sterling. Has got it onto his right foot, tries to tip Harry Kane, drop past it, but he's screwed it wide off the post, sliding on the volley. Difficult to execute well, and he didn't quite get it right.
Belgium then still hold this 1-0 advantage over England, but Gareth Southgate's men have started to wake up ever so slightly. Still look a little bit shaky at the back, but at least they've created a few chances. Loftus-Cheek had a header in the box, which he just tries to flick towards the top left corner. He got it wrong though, easy save for Courtois. Maguire then had a header from a corner as well. Again, that was headed down and around the penalty spot area, easy save once more. The best chance has come just a few moments ago as Sterling found some space in the box there. He thought he was going to hit it on the volley, or the half volley with his right foot. He lays it to Kane, who's just inside the box, but he sort of slips with his right foot in. He skews his shot wide of the mark there. Best chance that for England, but it's still Belgium 1, England 0.
England are back onto the attack though, with Sterling heading across the edge of the 18-yard box. So went for the curler, but got it wrong, and it's high wide, not too handsome, and it's behind for a goal kick. But he's finding a little bit of space. Is Raheem Sterling. Just having another look at that chance for Kane. Another replay. It's independent off-tube studio commentary, of course. And for some reason he went to hit it first time while sliding. Strange. Didn't necessarily need to do that, but didn't quite get it right. I'm not sure Courtois would have saved it had it been on target, because he seemed to be a little bit slow to react. Perhaps he just instantly knew it was off target. But England come forward again down their left-hand side with Sterling once more. 4 yellow shirts close to him. Just the one in Loftus-Cheek. The pass is back. Delph and Rose. Ruben Loftus-Cheek's now playing as the striker at the moment. But England have gone all the way back to the halfway line. And will have to begin again. Switching over towards Phil Jones and Trippier, hugging the touchline. Back to Jones. All for Belgium are behind the ball. And England quite happy to just knock it around casually from right to left on the halfway line. No real momentum at the moment. Patience being applied. And I wouldn't say Belgium are particularly negative, but they're not going to make it easy for England, are they? They did criticise France for sitting back on a 1-0.
Yes, but I mean, France got the 1-0 and they got into the final. That was a difference, really. But for England, I mean, they're seeing a lot of the ball, seeing a lot of possession, but there's no one who is sort of that figure, that sort of number 10, or just someone in the hole there that's creating anything, someone that's picking out a pass. That's the issue at the moment. It's passing it around the defence and then it's putting it down the channels, but there's just no one really in there that's linking everything up. And it was a criticism really of England if they didn't have that in the Croatia game, and it's showing that they don't really have that in this game so far.
Yeah, don't have it in the squad perhaps. One position to look at in the future as England try and set Trippier away down the right hand side, but the pass is overhit. And that's going to trickle behind eventually for a goal kick to Belgium, who haven't seen as much of the ball in the last 5 minutes or so. Of course, the fans in full voice, the Belgian fans anyway, that are in the grounds. As Courtois clears up to the halfway line, Lukaku is able to bring it down, eventually tackled by John Stones, but still retains the ball. Lukaku, Witsel in support, out to the left and Chadli. Closed down by Trippier. So Belgium retreat into their own half in possession. Vertonghen eventually closed down by Loftus-Cheek. Back to Kompany, the edge of his own box. Bit of space for Alderweireld, right hand side. De Bruyne's come deeper to take it from him. Turns out to be a 1-2 before Alderweireld hits it long towards Lukaku, but Stones headed away. And then Meunier just nipped in. Danny Rose, cross comes in, and it's just over the head of Lukaku. Pickford was a little bit out of position there because he came to accept a pass back from Danny Rose. Danny Rose didn't get the ball though, so a better cross, and Lukaku's got half a chance.
Yeah, not the first time though that Danny Rose is just not knowing what's coming around in there, blindsided, and Mounier nips in like he did for the goal. Mounier ahead of Rose, he's done it there where he's just got the ball, and it's a good cross in there. Just maybe needed someone else and support in the area, but not been a great start for me from Danny Rose, I have to say. He's looked a little bit susceptible when Belgium have come forward.
England back in possession with just about 28 minutes played in this third place playoff. Both sides have played in a third place playoff before, both lost. Belgium to France after extra time in '86, and England to Italy 4 years later. So one of them's going to win there first. It's not the one that they wanted to win, obviously, as Belgium try and just force a mistake out of John Stones. England are going backwards, but still in possession. Dyer feeding Delph, and there is space here. Tielemans eventually closes him down once he crosses that halfway line. Goes in field, Fabian Delph switches play to the right. Phil Jones forward to Loftus-Cheek. There's another 1-2 between those two players. Dyer gets involved, finds Sterling. Wasn't a great ball to collect for Sterling under pressure, and he's eventually dispossessed by a combination of Kompany and Vertonghen. Ball is back at the feet of Courtois. Big boot downfield. Stones heads away ahead of Lukaku. Delph tackles the ball off De Bruyne to Lukaku. So Belgium now have the attack going with Chadli in support on the left-hand side. Is going to have a run at Kieran Trippier. Left the ball behind momentarily. Lost a bit of momentum, but Hazard's up in support. Is able to turn as well. Now he's into the box. Low ball to Lukaku. Back to goal. Back to the shot comes in from Tielemans. Blocked away by John Stones. Hazard could have gone for a goal there. Tried to tee up the youngster, but too many red shirts ahead of the Monaco midfielder. And England clear down to the halfway line, but of course Belgium regained possession there and come forward again. I wouldn't say it's a helter-skelter sort of game. Neither side has really broken into much of a sprint.
No, it's one of those. It has the feeling sometimes of the third, fourth playoff game or the place game where no team really wants to be playing in it, but nonetheless they'll have to try and win it. Belgium, I mean, a great start. England, though, you feel that Belgium have got more goals than them if they just want to up the ante ever so slightly. It's not been fantastic from England at the back, and they're just lacking a little bit. I'm trying to figure out sort of Sterling's position at the moment, because he seems to be dropping deep, and then he's playing the number 10, then he's out wide. Don't really know exactly where he's meant to be playing, whether he's just meant to be floating around, and he's got that sort of role for England, but it's not really working so far. But there's a few players on the pitch for England that just haven't got going.
No, Harry Kane's struggling to get much of a look in as well. He is the primary goal getter. He has had a decent chance. Hasn't had too many in open play, obviously. He's had 3 of his 6 goals from penalties. Still need converting. Didn't quite hit the target. I mean, that's been a talking point of England, particularly in the knockout stages. Shots on target, particularly from open play. There haven't been many. England have lacked something. What that is?
6, I think. 6 shots.
6 in total.
6 in total across the tournament from open play, which says it all, really. That is not enough. You can't win a World Cup just by having set pieces.
No, you can't. 9 goals from set pieces, tournament high. Of course, they might improve on that today. They certainly need to get a goal to take this game further. Obviously, there's a long way left in it, but trailing to that 4th minute Thomas Meunier goal means it's Belgium with the advantage at the moment. They're in no real rush to extend it. England are in no real rush to eradicate it. It's a patient game from both sides as Dyer picks it up. Early ball in towards the box. Kane the target, cleared by Kompany though. Finding Vertonghen, now Witsel to Vertonghen. Just getting away from Harry Kane. Clips it up towards Lukaku. Turns Harry Maguire on the halfway line. Support comes from Tielemans. Out to Meunier on the right hand side. 1-on-1 with Rose at the moment. Checks back though with a pass to Alderweireld. And England now have most behind the ball, all barring Harry Kane in fact. As Witsel switches it over to Kevin De Bruyne. Little 1-2 with Witsel, including a back heel. Now Eden Hazard rounds Fabian Delph. Feeds it out to Mounier on the right. Early ball in. Header clear from Stones, only as far as Hazard. Back to Mounier. He tries to drive through Danny Rose. Just forced away from the dangerous area, but Belgium still have the ball. Now Mounier's made a run into the box. Hazard has it though, using them as a decoy at the moment. Just teases it forward to De Bruyne, who tried to return the favour, but an outstretched leg for Harry Maguire prevented that happening. I think Belgium have got us a little side bet who can do the most back heels in this game, as Alderweireld just back heeled a pass to Alex Witsel. Tielemans out to the right hand side, and Mounier with 12 minutes to go to the break. Hasn't been any injury time as such as yet. Not been many stoppages in truth, as Kompany has it in the centre circle. Finds Vertonghen. A little burst from Vertonghen, trying to get away from Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Well, the return pass didn't come from Chadli. Instead, it's back to the halfway line and Kompany. Now Tielemans out to De Bruyne, who's having a little go at Rose. Infield to Hazard, driving into the box. Shot blocked by the legs of Stones. Goes behind. Belgium's first corner.
Yeah, I thought he should have shot early there, Hazard. Again, it's a decent play, but it's De Bruyne and Hazard, and nice ball to Hazard, but he's just allowed to get into that area. I just thought he delays the shot ever so slightly by a couple of seconds, and then it tightens the gap a little bit, and Stones gets a good block in there with the inside of his left knee and his left thigh there. But it is a chance for Belgium. Mentioned they've got a bit of height in their team as well.
Yeah, it's one man on the post, the back post as far as Pickford's concerned. Harry Kane's patrolling the near post zone. De Bruyne low towards the edge of the box. Miss-hit shot, hooked towards goal, and it's over the bar from Toby Alderweireld. Miss-hit shot from Tielemans. He certainly wasn't picking out that pass. He's definitely onside though, is Alderweireld, and Pickford is struggling momentarily. Just over the bar though.
Yeah, just over. But again, I mean, I know it's not meant to be a pass there for Tielemans. The shot is horrible, but it's a Belgian player that's reacting to it first. They're in the box, and Alderweireld is just in so much space. And 8 yards out, hooked volley there, very close for him. And if that's on target, I'm not sure if Pickford's going to save that.
Yeah, it certainly would have been a good save had he got there. Possession stats just flashing up. 57% in England's favour. Had more shots, 6-5. 3 on target to Belgium's 2. They trail 1-0 as England try and change that with Loftus-Cheek. Just behind Sterling, though, the pass in the D won't reach Harry Kane. Belgium can break, and Chadli is showing Trippier a clean pair of heels. They've got acres of space at the moment. De Bruyne eventually feeds it to him. Lukaku's got his hand up in the middle, crosses deeper to the far post. Hazard tries to chest control it. Maguire comes across, gets a challenge in. Chadli's just sat down after all. That might have just done himself an injury. I didn't think De Bruyne played him a particularly good pass there, because he had to slow up. Maybe that's what did it. It looks like a hamstring though, and it could be the end of the game for Chadli. It is I think it was given as a corner, but Chadli, I don't think he's going to be continuing.
Yeah, definitely his left hamstring. He's felt that. Then he's chipped the ball in with his right foot and sat down. So yeah, I think Chadli, that is his game over. Most likely, he's just getting seen by the physios at the moment. But again, wrong pass. I thought that was for De Bruyne to go left-hand side, because Hazard was in all sorts of space to start with on the right. Did eventually get to him, but yeah, just a few uncharacteristic decisions maybe you feel from a couple of the Belgian players there in terms of their final pass. Well, it's still Belgium 1, England 0 as we edge towards half-time in this game. And I have to say, there's been a couple more chances, or one more chance, I should say, for the Red Devils to try and get themselves 2-0 ahead. It was a corner which was played out, sort of a Beckham Scholes-esque type of corner. It was whipped towards the edge of the box. Tielemans with a volley, hits it horribly into the ground, but it bounces up, and then 8 yards out is Alderweireld, unmarked. He hooks a right-footed volley there towards goal, and it just goes over the bar there. But England are trying to improve a little bit. They're just lacking a bit of creative sort of threat in their team, whilst Belgium are looking quite comfortable at the back. It's 1-0 Belgium.
Just got another look at the goal there. A shinner, if you like, from Thomas Mounier. But perhaps deserving to finish after really busting a gut to get into the box and actually create a target for Chadli. who might not yet finish this game. Is that him on the pitch? Just trying to check him out. No, it's not Vertonghen, and Hazard as Jones tries to tease it into the path of Raheem Sterling, but Vertonghen intercepts and it's cleared up towards Romelu Lukaku, beaten in the air by Harry Maguire. But Hazard launches a ball forward on the volley, trying to find De Bruyne. It looked like a bit of an up and under, but De Bruyne puts his hand up, his thumb up as though he liked the idea. Chadli still off the pitch, replacement not yet on, and England are trying to exploit it. It's Trippier down the right hand side, fed down the line for Sterling, who should keep this in, cross towards the penalty spot. Kompany heads away unchallenged, 30 yards out. Maguire tries a headed ball out towards Rose, but Mounier intercepts, and now England caught short at the back. It's 4 against 3 with the goal scorer Mounier striding forward, feeding into De Bruyne. Closed down by Dyer, just checks back. He does have time and space. Cross towards the far post. Hazard didn't attack it. It was over Lukaku. Trippier takes no chances, heads it behind.
Yeah, again though, England caught far too many players up there. Rose is beaten to the ball by Mounier, not for the first time in this game, and then Mounier drives forward. His ball to De Bruyne wasn't the best, but then the cross into the box, don't think it was going to reach any sort of target. Trippier though had to be safe than sorry, just heads it behind. But once again, it's just the pace of Belgium on the counter-attack is really doing for England.
Just confirmation that Chadli is off, and well, it is a defensive change, if you like, because Thomas Vermaelen is the man that's come on in his place. Although Chadli, of course, playing at left wing back as near post corner headed away by Harry Maguire. Further clear from Delph. Sterling picks it up inside his own half, nobody ahead of him. Loftus-Cheek tries to make a break. Sterling beats one man, now crosses the halfway line, feeds it out to Loftus-Cheek. The red shirts are arriving in support. Danny Rose is one of them. Plenty of yellow shirts back though. A couple of step overs from Loftus-Cheek, turning one way then the other. Feeding it out to Rose, just lost a little bit of momentum. Trippier was arriving in space at the edge of the box as he is the target now from John Stones, and it's a good ball, good control. Back to Harry Kane, just to the right of the D. Back to goal though. Delph into the box towards Sterling. Sterling thought maybe Kane was the target, didn't go after it, and it's cleared up to the halfway line. Harry Maguire too strong for Lukaku though, and brings it forward. Now Kane just to the right of the D again. Pass out to Trippier, right hand side. And again, England not quite getting in behind Belgium, not quite stretching this defence. They still have possession, but they seem to be back in shape and in numbers. The Red Devils, and England go back to the halfway line. But that little bit of zip, perhaps it's decision making, I don't know, gets to the final third, breaks down.
Just not enough bodies up, not enough support. I mean, when Loftus-Cheek got that ball about a minute ago when he was down the left-hand side, he's looking up for support, and there's about 7 Belgian players around, only 3 England players up in support with Loftus-Cheek, and he does well, Loftus-Cheek, to cut inside. He goes infield and he's looking for someone supporting on the right. Nobody there, so he's got to cut back and go down the left-hand side again, and then eventually it's just passed around the halfway line. It's just not good enough from England in terms of not enough support up in the attack, not enough options for when one of the players has the ball and they're trying to sort of cut open this Belgian defence. It's a little bit easy, it's a little bit static at times for the 3 lines.
Yeah, only 1 goal down though, 4 minutes to go to the break. Obviously it's not, I guess it's treated in some way as a friendly, but England can't make a raft of substitutions with Harry Kane not having scored. I wonder if Gareth Southgate will play him for 90. England are trailing, of course. They need a goal. That's to be found out in the second period or as the game goes on. But at the moment, England lots of possession. Had a couple of chances. Harry Kane's probably the best. Edge of the box. You just expect him to shoot better than what he did. As Vermaelen under pressure from Raheem Sterling, and Sterling wins a throw-in. Vermaelen wanted a free kick, and just for a moment the linesman was suggesting he might get one, but then gave England the throw. But that was a bit soft from Vermaelen. Yeah,
not enough for a free kick for me, so I think the linesman's done the right thing there and just put his flag signalling a throw into England, who will hope they can maybe create something from this, at least get something into the box, although they've just taken a short throw and then it's been volleyed out by Loftus-Cheek. So Belgium had the ball back.
Yeah, 1 or 2 positions up for grabs for England going forward, you would have thought. Loftus-Cheek hoping to perhaps cement a regular place in the squad at the very least. He's been in and out of this game, some good moments, but England have struggled to get him into advanced positions very often. As Belgium trying to come forward and perhaps double their advantage. Hazard out to the left, and Vertonghen, who's now taking up the left wing-back mantle. Vermaelen taking his place, left of three. Centre-backs, Hazard again. Toe pokes it forward towards Lukaku. Jones clears, and there's a bit of foul in there from Lukaku, I think, rather than offside, just leaning into his clubmate. And the referee spotted it. Here come England. Loftus-Cheek, bit of pace. Not so much trickery though, as he's dispossessed by Tielemans. Belgium have it back inside their own half with a couple of minutes to go to the break. Belgium 1, England 0. Out to the right hand side, and Alderweireld coming forward. There's been plenty of speculation over his future as well at Spurs. Valuation is quite high though, relatively speaking, as he's had a decent tournament, hasn't he? Well, Belgium have had a decent tournament, let's be honest, getting to the semi-final, beating Brazil.
It's the highlight really, wasn't it, beating Brazil? They played well, they got the 2-0 cushion, and then they got a bit shaky when Brazil got one goal back, and there was chances for Brazil to get an equaliser and force it into extra time, but I think it's been decent. Going into it, you probably thought semi-finals may have been the minimum, I think, for Belgium to get to with the talent they have in their squad, and I think actually their fans were expecting probably semi-finals at least, so you'd say it's been successful that they got to that stage there.
There's a chance for Belgium just on the stroke at half-time. Meunier's cross though low, intercepted by Stones, cleared downfield. Sterling wants a free kick, felt he was shoved in the back. No, says the referee. Belgium have it back with about 40 seconds to go of the 45 minutes. I doubt there'll be much added on though. Hazard 25 yards out, slide rule pass to De Bruyne, right-footed shot blocked by Maguire. Great ball from Hazard to pick him out. Good defending though from Maguire to block De Bruyne's effort. The pressure hasn't eased though. Hazard into the last 20 seconds with possession. A little 1-2 with De Bruyne, and another one back to Witsel. This high up the pitch, thought Belgium might go for the jugular, and it is worked out to the man in space, as he often has been. Meunier, right-footed cross, not his best, and that goes behind for a goal kick to England with 45 minutes ticking over. Roberto Martinez still belting out some instructions. Haven't seen the board go up for how much injury time is going to be added on. I wouldn't have thought it would be too many minutes, that is. Might get one, as England 2. I suppose Chadley needed a bit of treatment, didn't he? So there's still about 90 seconds of play at the end of this first half. Ruben Loftus-Cheek in Belgian territory, just out to Trippier, right-hand side. Now to Harry Kane, tries to tease it forward to Loftus-Cheek, who just stretched to get there ahead of Vermaelen, but couldn't quite control his touch. It goes into the box, and Courtois is quickly off his line. Almost
Loftus-Cheek, but yeah, almost out enough there. It's good. Loftus-Cheek's looked sort of, at least when he gets the ball, he's all a forward pass, which I think England need a little bit more of.
Delph from Loftus-Cheek, back to Loftus-Cheek and Delph into the final 40 seconds of injury time at the end of this first half. Belgium 1, England 0. The goal coming in the 4th minute. 5 yards out, tries to thread it through to Kane, but that's intercepted easily by Tielemans. Here's the one last chance for Belgium. Ball downfield, and it's picked up by Lukaku. One-on-one with Stones. Gets it onto his left foot. Stones blocks the effort. Goes behind for a corner kick. Didn't do an awful lot there, Lukaku. Got it onto his left foot and shot. Didn't really put Stones off one way or the other.
Yeah, didn't really twist and turn him there. It was good. It was decent play actually from Belgium to start with. And just as I speak, actually, the referee is well for half-time. It's half-time then, so we'll be back very, very shortly for you. Belgium 1, England 0.
I'm coming home, I'm coming home. Tell the world I'm coming.
সামনে সপ্তাহে একটা র্যাম শো আছে একটা পোলা মডেল যে শর্ট পর আমি জীবনও চিন্তা করিনি এই পোলা মডেল যে কই পামু আবার চাকরিটা যাবো এবার
কে কিনলো
আর একটা পোলা মডেল লাগবো সামনের মাসে আমার র্যাম শো
ও পোলা মডেল পাইতাছিস না
না ভাই চাকরিটা যাইবো ভাই
এটা কোনো ব্যাপার হলো আর আমি আসি না
আপনি মানে হচ্ছে গিয়া ব্যাপারটা হচ্ছে গিয়া আপনি কখনো করছেন নি
আরে আমার ট্যালেন্টের উপরে বিশ্বাস রাখ আগে করি নেই দেখে কি হইছে এভরিথিং হ্যাজ আ ফার্স্ট টাইম এভরিওয়ান হ্যাজ আ ফার্স্ট টাইম কাম অন
না মানে
কি না
আপনি করবেন
আমি কি করতে পারবো না আমার ভিতরে কি ক্যাপাবিলিটি নাই অ্যাবিলিটি নাই
না ঠিক আছে বাট
ঠিক আছে বাট কি আমার একটা চান্স দিয়াই দেখ সরি বেশি দূরে
আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে করেন একটু দেখি যেমন দেখেন একটা
দেখ ফাটা দিব
না ঠিক আছে
Cause I'm so fly, so fly, so fly. All the bitches love me cause I'm so fly, so fly, so fly. All the bitches love me cause I'm so fly, so fly, so fly. All the bitches love me cause I'm so fly, so fly, so fly. All the bitches love me cause I'm so fly, so fly. All the bitches love me cause I'm so fly, so fly, so fly. All the bitches love me cause I'm so fly, so fly, so fly. All the bitches love me cause I'm so fly, so fly, so fly. All the bitches love me cause I'm so all the bitches love me cause I'm so fly, 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 fly. All the bitches fly, fly, fly.
Oh, that feels good.
So fly, 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 so fly. All the bitches love me cause I'm so fly, so fly, so fly. All the bitches love me cause I'm so fly, so fly, so fly. All the bitches love me cause I'm so fly, so fly, so fly. All the bitches love me cause I'm so fly, so fly, so fly. All the bitches love me cause I'm so all the bitches love me cause I'm so fly, 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 fly. All the bitches
to go. 'Cause I am happy. 'Cause I am happy on this island. Wanna be my fatherland. I don't ever want to leave. I'm in a tropic club.
In the team now. There's a lot easily into the arms of a court. Then our teams then for you in the second half. It's for Tongan company Alderweireld. For Marlon, who came on for Chadley as a first half sub, and Meunier are the wing backs with Witsel and Tielemans in midfield, with Hazard and De Bruyne providing the support for Lukaku. As for England, it's Pickford in goal, then it's Maguire, Stones and Jones, and it's Delph on the left wing back role now with Trippier on the right. You have Lingard, Dyer and Loftus-Cheek with Kane and Rashford as your top two. Myself, James Mason and Rob Eddy again with you for this second half, and well, it needs to be a lot better from England in this second period.
Yeah, it's got to be. I mean, they didn't really play with much pace or energy, as Lingard's first contribution is to give it away. And that was having intercepted the ball in the first place, so that's not fantastic. Belgium are trying to come. Yeah, I think they just got to step it up a little bit. I mean, obviously there's the deflation of the defeat in midweek. Belgium had that problem as Loftus-Cheek drives into the box.
Yeah, he's got a chance now there. It's a couple of diving challenges as well. It was Company who just flew in there and then managed to stick out another foot there to eventually turn this one behind. It may actually have come off Loftus-Cheek last, it has, so it will be a goal kick. De Bruyne was down as well around halfway there, appealing for a foul, and I'm not sure if he's back on his feet. He is back on his feet now, so he's okay, but a little bit wild there from Company with the first slide he went in on.
Well, he's won the ball, in fairness to him, but he's taken a little bit of a risk, I suppose. I just think Loftus-Cheek, he looked bright up to a point. It's the final pass, the final touch, the final shot. It just lets him down there. I mean, he's committed two defenders, but nothing comes from it. He's not threatening a cross. It's just dispossessed. Okay, it's unfortunate he didn't win England a corner, but doesn't quite do enough for that final thing that he does. I mean, at least he's getting into positions, though, to at least have that possibility.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, but yeah, like you said, he's getting into those areas as Rashford has possession now for England down the left side. He cuts in field ever so slightly, then he tries to switch the play. It's a bit behind Trippier, who has to come back and get this one. He does eventually, but England are forced back inside their own half now as Dyer has possession, under pressure now from De Bruyne. Goes all the way towards Pickford. He'll take a touch, and then England will try and play this one out from the back like they have so often in this tournament. Maguire now finds Stones just inside his own box, and he can bring the ball forward now a little bit more. Up towards halfway with Dyer. Now Rashford comes down the left hand side. He has Delph on the overlapping, but Rashford still coming forward there, does really well. Edge of the box there, gets onto his right foot, finds Lingard now. He squares it to Kane. Now Loftus-Cheek then, just a little bit on his heels, but he finds Trippier now on this right side. Back in field to Loftus-Cheek. Trippier will have it again. But once more, England just a little bit slow in getting that ball into the box, but now Phil Jones can come forward there. Edge of the box, right hand side, swings and across.
Very swiftly at the other end, could have a chance to get a shot. Just forced wide by Delph tracking back. Now bailed out by Lingard, dispossessed. The Belgian lacking support high at the pitch. I thought there were numbers there for England, but it was just one pass too many. It was a simple ball to the next man along the line, and it was just passing it on and on and on, and then Trippier didn't cross it. So I just kind of thought they gave Belgium a chance to get back and regroup. Don't like seeing Rashford this going back into Belgium territory now.
Yeah, it's a bit rigid. As Rashford looks like he's taken out from behind, and he is. It'll be a free kick. Plus yards out there, a chance for England to swing this one in. Yeah, but Rashford's looked lively since he's come on. At least he was running at the Belgian defence before. England haven't done enough of. Just seen Hazard coming forward again, and he ghosted past about 4 England players. Eventually Lingard came in and helped out Delph to win the ball back, but this is a chance from a set piece, and Maguire's up in the box again along with Kane and Dyer. It'll be Trippier who will swing this one in with his right foot. The referee's just telling Trippier just to put the ball back a little bit from where the foul actually took place. A bit of defensive work to do for Belgium. Kane will be looking to get himself on the score sheet. It'll be his 7th goal if he can find the back of the net in the tournament there. Trippier swings this one in there. It's a decent looking ball as well. Oh, and the defensive clearance goes just wide of the left post there. I think it was Vermaelen or Vertonghen as well. Who are in there. That could have gone up
underneath it. I mean, it's just a great ball in. It's in a dangerous area. Courtois wasn't sure. Defenders have got to deal with it. He was jumping and stretching a little bit, so you can understand why he didn't meet it with his boot. But another set-piece opportunity. This line of 4 or 5 England players. Belgium don't particularly like it, but the referee's allowing it to continue.
Yes, indeed. This corner comes in right for the in swing in from Trippier there, and Courtois plucks that one out of the air on the edge of his 6-yard box, and now he goes for a kick halfway. Then he's brought. Stones wrestles him again. Free kick and the first yellow card of the game for John Stones.
Yes, there's no hiding that. He missed him first time and then got him a second time. He was just done by Hazard in the last run as well, wasn't he? So that's worrying for England. I mean, England were obviously caught. I wouldn't say they were caught on the break, but there was only 3 players up there for Belgium. I'm sure there was 4 defenders back, but Stones just thought he'd take a free kick. I don't know why, but there you go.
Yeah, it's a strange one there, really. Maybe he was a bit worried about the pace of Hazard, which he ghosted past around 4 England players a few moments ago when he ran forward. Kompany received a bit of a whack in the box there when England had that corner, and he was down on the ground face first when Courtois tried to spring that counter-attack. We'll see it again. He was grappling with Maguire. Oh, he's just got a little flick in the eye. There's a finger of Maguire that just flicks Kompany in his right eye. So it's going to be a little painful in that. Right eye was pretty much shut there, but I think he's okay now, his Kompany. Didn't play any of the group matches, I don't think, for Belgium to Kompany, but came in for the knockout games. It was Dedrick Boyata. I feel that was in the Belgium side for the first 3. As they work it out to this right-hand side now, Belgium, as Alderweireld plays a long ball forward looking for Lukaku. Phil Jones gets a chest on it, but only as far as Hazard now, and he can come forward with a little bit of menace now. He's just inside the penalty area. Now he tries to go back in towards the field of Lukaku, but that's a poor pass, and England can try and bring this one clear. It's Loftus-Cheek over halfway, down this right side. He's got loads of room to run into at the moment there. He's looking for support there. Swings in across into the box, headed away by Alderweireld. Will be a throw into England on the left side.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was the right move for Loftus-Cheek. Obviously didn't quite execute either, but that seemed the hardest pass to try and get right, the crossfield ball to Kane. I mean, Rashford with his pace, you just thought tease it into the box and he might get there first. John Stones had made a real long busting run to get up there and support. He looked a little bit frustrated actually. when a cross didn't reach Harry Kane. Obviously the attack broke down momentarily. England back in possession though, and just one or two bright sparks actually for England. There seems to be a little bit more purpose going forward.
Yeah, a little bit more pace in the play as Jones plays this ball to Trippier. Down the line he feeds it for Loftus-Cheek. He's got Witsel up against him around his back, but Loftus-Cheek turns and lays it back towards Lingard now. Goes back for Trippier. Trippier's just going to keep this ball in there, tries to dig out a cross, but he gets it wrong. But the clearance isn't great actually from Belgium and Vermaelen, and it will be a throw into England on this right side, almost level with the edge of Belgium's penalty area. Just seen shots of a few of the Belgian players warming up, Michy Batshuayi being one of them. I'm sure he'll get a go in this game as the throw-in is into Lingard there. Right-footed shot there, goes well wide of the mark. Nearly turned out to be a cross in the end for Kane, but it's behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, Belgium caught napping this time, and Lingard, I think he's probably going for goal, but he's dragged it wide enough of the far post for Kane to have a little inkling there, but again it's an awkward height, but got caught napping. Vermaelen, I don't think, has settled into this brilliantly. That seems to be an area where England are trying to exploit.
Into the second half, and still Belgium 1, England 0, but a little bit more purposeful from England coming forward there. A couple changes were made by Gareth Southgate at the break. Marcus Rashford on for Raheem Sterling and Jesse Lingard for Danny Rose. So Delph out towards the left wing-back spot now. When Rashford has looked lively, he's had a couple of runs at the Belgian defence. There was a chance a few moments ago for Jesse Lingard, a throw into the box from Trippier. Belgium were caught napping, and Lingard on the sort of half volley puts it wide, well wide of the post actually. Nearly turned out to be a cross for Kane, couldn't quite get on the end of it. But Belgium, they look lively coming forward as well. Hazard has had a couple breaks there, ghosted past 4 England players actually on a run forward, but couldn't do anything with it in the final third. It's 1-0.
England coming forward again though. Lingard 25 yards out, gets to the right edge of the area, now drives in, low sort of cross comes shot, blocked by the legs of Witsel. Vertonghen has it, should clear, though he is under pressure from Trippier and tries to do too much. It's one backed by Phil Jones. Now Lingard and Loftus-Cheek back to Jones, very high up the pitch obviously. Loftus-Cheek to Lingard has made a real difference already. Cross in, blocked again by Witsel. It's made a difference picking up space in the right areas, injecting a little bit of pace. His final ball has been fantastic. That's a good one from Belgium to set Mooney away down at the right-hand side. His goal separates the two, although again not much support initially. Oh, that's a great ball from De Bruyne towards Lukaku. It's another poor touch from the Manchester United striker. Didn't see if the flag went up for offside, but he's miles onside. It's just a great ball from De Bruyne. Not a great touch, and Pickford's able to smother again.
Yeah, Lukaku should probably have himself 2 goals in this game. One in the first half, and again when his control let him down in the box. And this one, well, that's just really, really poor. That should be 2-0 to Belgium, really. Just a decent touch would get that out towards his left foot there, and England caught napping at the back. It was a good ball from De Bruyne, but they weren't all level there with the 3 centre-halves for England. I mean, Jones was back and Trippier were further back than their other defenders. So that's poor from the 3 lines at the back, but Lukaku will be frustrated. He's had chances to get himself level with Kane in the Golden Boot race, but he hasn't taken them yet. As Dyer has possession, and he looks for Rashford, who, I don't know if he thought Loftus-Cheek was making a run behind him, but he lets it through his legs, and it's straight towards a Belgian player. It's Vermaelen who just punts it long. As Lukaku chests it down. Hazard now Witsel has it. It's Vertonghen that has gone out to this sort of left full-back spot actually, isn't it? And Vermaelen now is part of the 3 centre-backs. I think Vermaelen started as the left wing-back when he came on for Chadley, but he's been shipped in field. Maybe a little bit more protection for him with a couple players around. As Hazard has possession now, as Lukaku makes a run forward, he is offside, and Hazard eventually runs into a brick wall, but Belgium have it back, and it's Vertonghen on this left side of the field in towards Hazard now. De Bruyne, good 30 yards out, but he tries to get room for a shot, but he just holds on to it. Lays it towards the feet of Tielemans, out to the right there, and Delph slides in and does well to win the ball back, and now England can maybe try and counter themselves. Kane with the ball just inside his own half. It's now Dyer. Again, it's just a little bit slow for England there. Lingard has possession on halfway. They do still have the ball, and they're working it out to the right, but it's probably taken 6 passes or 6 touches too many there.
Yeah, it's just a little bit laboured by England. It's allowed Belgium to get back in defensive positions. England 434 passes to Belgium something like 230, so they've more of the ball, but a lot of these passes are between defenders, simple balls that don't really say much for the stats if you're not counting them, as Lingard with another crossfield ball is actually intercepted. His final ball has actually been disappointing since he came on at half-time, but he does at least offer a threat. Belgium have been slow to cover the sort of areas that he's finding himself in, trying to get away from the defenders, but he's not executing when he gets the ball. No,
it's the disappointment for England at the moment. They've had a lot of possession, more possession than Belgium. Just haven't been able to create enough chances from it. As a long ball up to Lukaku is hard for him to control. He chests it down, but then Stones nips in and wins the ball back as he plays it infield to Maguire. He comes over halfway now. Again, looking for options. The runs are just not good enough at the moment. Eventually, he just goes to his left-hand side for Delph, who tries to ping a ball into the box. It's in the box, but it's nowhere near Kane, and easily picked up by Courtois. As Belgium have the ball with Witsel now. Comes close towards the halfway line and just feeds it out to this left side for Hazard. Now he's just gone to a bit of a standstill, just eases the ball into Witsel. He'll exchange passes with De Bruyne. Back to Hazard on the halfway line. He's got Dyer coming over, trying to put a bit of pressure on. It's just laid towards Vertonghen, tries to go back down the line for Hazard. Trippier steps in, but can only put it out for a throw. Going to see Belgium's second change of the match now, as Romelu Lukaku will not be winning the Golden Boot because he is the man that is coming off, and Dries Mertens is the player that will replace him.
Yeah, he's not had a great game. I mean, you might argue he didn't have a great game against France either, but not quite his day today, and maybe Roberto Martinez feels that it's pointless running him into the ground. I mean, he, like you say, he's had two very good chances to get on the score sheet, and his touch has let him down. It's a different problem for England to deal with, a little bit more pace and mobility with Mertens coming on. I'm not sure they're going to play with an actual striker as such. Obviously, it was Hazard, Lukaku and De Bruyne in a kind of front three, but that might be even more fluid now. Free up Hazard just to essentially turn up where he wants to. He's the one that's been causing most of the problems for England. I think England are really scared of him.
Yes, as Belgium have the ball just inside England's half. It's laid back towards halfway where De Bruyne has possession. Now it's just laid inside their own half where Kompany has the ball. Now towards the feet of Vermaelen, out to Vertonghen. He's under pressure from Trippier, and he's forced back into his own half, and he's forced all the way, or to play the ball all the way to Courtois. So good pressure there from Trippier. Belgium have the ball though on the right side now. It's Alderweireld. He just dinks one towards halfway. Dyer steps in and wins that with his head, and now England get the ball down, but then it's a misplaced pass by Lingard as Mertens nips in, and now Tielemans has it. Finds Mertens again, who's hugging that right touchline, gives it back inside his own half, and now Belgium will look to spray the ball across the field. It's currently with Kompany. He goes back out to the right on halfway where Meunier has the ball, the goal scorer. The only goal scorer in the game so far. Belgium 1, England 0. Just over 61 minutes played as Courtois puts a left boot through this one. It's slightly sliced, but he's looking for Vertonghen. The header is won by Trippier in the air, but Kane, coming back from an offside position, can't challenge for that one. And it's into the hands of Courtois. It's just gone a little bit stale, I have to say, in the past few minutes.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that problem with taking Lukaku off, if England do force Courtois into a clearance downfield, every chance of winning the header. Bit more of a problem with Lukaku on the pitch as a ball over the top. Hazard is onside. Harry Maguire and John Stones are there. Hazard still has it with Meunier on the overlap. Great challenge from Delph. I'm not sure that Meunier wasn't actually offside, but just as he was thinking about crossing or pulling the trigger, Delph with a great challenge. Yeah,
brilliant challenge. The ball over the top. Hazard is onside there. His first touch is pretty good. England just getting back in numbers, and if it wasn't for Delph, that's probably an easy square ball, and it's going to be an easy goal for Vertonghen at the back post there. So Delph doing his defensive duties well, just nipping in with his left toe there. Will be a corner kick though for Belgium. I mentioned before they've got height in their side, although Lukaku not in there now as he's just been subbed off. Reduces the threat a little bit. Hazard standing over there, so I think he wants to take this short, and he does take it short eventually. Now Mertens has it. He tries to whip in a ball, takes a deflection. That'll be another corner. That whole corner routine there was absolutely pointless. We'll get another corner now for Belgium. Mertens is standing over this one. Once again, Hazard's very close to him for the short one, but he whips it in towards the near post there. Company with a little back heel there, and it doesn't quite find a teammate as England clear the ball, and it's up close towards halfway. Lingard can't control that one though, and Belgium have it back. But we mentioned in the first half how many back heels Belgium are trying to do in the box. We'll come back to that in a moment though, as Hazard now is driving forward, gets towards the edge of the box there, and then Dyer gets his foot in after a few mistimed challenges from his teammates, and England will try and bring this ball clear with Loftus-Cheek. But Company there trying a little bit of trickery in the box.
Yeah, I mean, that's understandable. I mean, the ball's the wrong size, and he wants to at least keep it alive, get it threatening towards goal. But yeah, it's another back heel, and I don't think his fancy footwork is Vincent Kompany's strongest point. But I mean, the threat is, I don't think England actually brought as many defenders back as they might have done had this been a World Cup semi-final. But they want to keep players down the pitch, try and threaten a fast break themselves. But it's not quite happening in the final third. I think just with Hazard, and we've seen glimpses from De Bruyne, that little bit of class in the opposition half still makes Belgium more threatening to me. Lukaku could have had a couple. There have been other breaks. England haven't ever stretched the Belgian defence, really.
Yeah, that is the issue for England at the moment, but they're coming forward again with a bit of threat. It's Delph now has the ball on the left. He lays it back towards the feet of Lingard. Now he'll exchange passes with Kane. Manchester United man, well, he straight away there, he puts out both of his hands, he just passes the ball 5 yards back to Maguire and basically says, well, there's no options for me there. What do you want me to do? As Maguire has the ball again, but it is very, very slow and uncreative from England at the moment. But that's a decent ball to Loftus-Cheek. He'll go out to the right-hand side for Trippier, takes a touch and then whips in a high ball towards the far post there. It can't find Kane, but Meunier can only put it behind for a corner kick.
Yeah, it is a little bit frustrating, I'm sure, for the ball carrier, but England don't have a player really. Maybe Rashford or Sterling when he was on, that's actually going to take on players. I mean, Lingard's not really a dribbler as such. He likes to find bits of space, work the 1-2s, etc. And so when he's stood up by the defenders, he wants movement from somebody else. There isn't enough of it. I think that's been the case all game, really. And England have struggled, but they do have another set piece.
Do indeed. There is this ball coming from Trippier once more, right for it's one play towards the edge of the box, and Kane will have a volley which he hits into the ground. It balloons into the box, and eventually Belgium actually can maybe bring this one clear, and they've got a counter-attacking chance as De Bruyne finds the ball forward. Now it's Meunier who's come now, it's Mertens who has the ball fed to him down this left-hand side, just on the edge of the box there. Stones comes over, Mertens plays it into the feet of De Bruyne, who isn't on the same wavelength as Mertens there. He tries to give the ball back to Mertens and doesn't quite work because Pickford clutches that one easily.
Yeah, it's a poor pass from De Bruyne. I don't think he's had his best game. I think he's threaded a couple of lovely balls through into the box, but there's been a lot of ordinary ones like that. I think he's a little bit frustrated. I think he's still miffed that they lost to France. He's trying to blame Mertens there. He didn't make that run, but I suppose the runs do make the pass, as Loftus-Cheek's got to the byline at least, but he needs a touch. Belgium are getting bodies back, but England's still in possession. Cross comes in from Trippier. It's not a bad one, just beyond Rashford. Kane peeling away to the left corner flag will keep it alive at least. And Kane then tries to work a 1-2 with Lingard, and that's another pass that's given away by Lingard, although it's cleared up to Delph on the halfway line, so England can come again. I mean, he tries these things, Lingard, but he can be a little bit frustrating when they don't come off.
Yes, I can agree with that one there, as Trippier has the ball on the right. He exchanges passes with Loftus-Cheek, and well, again, he's asking someone to go into the hole there, and no one made the run. England do still have the ball. It's now with Eric Dyer. Good ball to Loftus-Cheek though, right-hand side of the box, into the penalty area he goes there, drills in a cross into the 6-yard box. It evades everyone. Delph picks it back up though, then he chips one in, and then, well, Rashford is just bundled over in the box there. It was Vermaelen, jumps up for a header, gets nowhere near it, and then just lands basically on the back of Rashford.
Yeah, I mean, I think you would argue that Rashford wasn't getting that ball anyway, so whether you can give a penalty for that is open to question. But I think he's a bit of a weak link for Vermaelen. I think England have looked dangerous when they're running in that sort of channel. That cross, incidentally, from Ruben Loftus-Cheek did take a little bit of a deflection off Vermaelen. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't like to see that given as a penalty necessarily, because Rashford isn't getting that ball. but you might argue it's kind of off the ball, and there's
Just
no need.
So clumsy from Vermaelen is what it is there. There's no need for that challenge. No, I mean, I don't know where he's jumping at because the ball is miles away from him. And yeah, could have got punished on another day, but I think it's good that's not been given as a penalty. It would have been a little bit harsh as England still have possession with Rashford. Now Trippier on this right hand side. Good ball infield to Dyer. He looks up there, he has a ping from distance, and it's an easy save in the end for Courtois. Goes down low to his right hand side. Well, it's still Belgium 1, England 0 in the second half.
So getting in behind
many
this
chances for
Belgian
three lines
defence.
to get themselves back on level terms. It's been better, it's been livelier, a bit more tempo to their play, but still they're not really testing Courtois. Eric Dyer a few moments ago had an effort from around 25 yards, but it was easily saved in the end, and they're just lacking a creative spark in their team, England, someone to thread the passes through, and it's just been a little bit disappointing. As for Belgium, well, Dries Mertens on for Romelu Lukaku. Lukaku missed a couple of good chances in this game there with his touch letting him down, and Mertens is on, but Belgium still looking lively on the break, but England struggling to create. It's Belgium 1, England 0.
Yeah, about a quarter of the game to go as Pickford takes a little bit of a chance at the back and eventually finds somebody open. Maguire and to Stones, up to Kane, has actually dropped deep into his own half. Struggled really for many clear-cut chances, inches away from a Lingard cross-come shot. He has had a couple of efforts at goal, which on another day you might think he could have done better with. They are relative distance, but still he's pinged them in from those sort of ranges before. Here come England. Oh, it's a chance. Driving through is Eric Dyer, digs it over the keeper. Oh, it's cleared off the line. Cleared off the line by Toby Alderweireld. Eric Dyer worked a lovely one too with Marcus Rashford. Courtois came out, dived at his feet, he dinked it over, didn't quite have the power. Alderweireld's got back. Could have been 1-1.
Could have been 1-0, should have been 1-0 really. His touch takes him a little bit wide from the angle, but I mean, it's a cute little effort from Dyer, just trying to chip it over Courtois, but just didn't have the pace and cleared behind for a corner. But that is the best move that England have created in this game.
In this World Cup, as it's headed towards the far post, and it's Maguire probably getting his teammate Loftus-Cheek in the way. Maguire looks frustrated, and let's have another look at that effort. Dyer could have done a little bit more, but of course he didn't want to miss the target. It's still a good clearance from Toby Alderweireld. And again, it's down that left of the three centre-backs, isn't it? Vermaelen. I'm not saying it's necessarily Vermaelen's fault, but that's where England have had their most joy. Not on Alderweireld's side, on the other side. England boss Gareth Southgate thought it was an equaliser. Wasn't. Maybe there's a very good chance from the corner as well. Handball surely against Tielemans. Yes, it was given. Referee just has a word with him as he goes past. No yellow card, though. It's inside the England half. But a relatively deliberate handball.
Relatively, yeah. England come forward again.
Rashford just gets the ball ahead of Vincent Kompany. United against City there. United winning it. Kompany didn't like it. He's only there at a fraction ahead of Vincent Kompany, Marcus Rashford, but he just nipped it past, then brought down. Free kick to England. A fair way out, 30 plus yards, just to the right of the D. Courtois getting a wall lined up, maybe too far out to go for a goal for Trippier, but he stood over it. There's a bit of jostling in the box. I'm sure many of these players know each other, of course. Plenty of the Belgians play in the Premier League. And Jesse Lingard's also stood there. It's going to be like a knock to Lingard and then cross from Trippier, and it comes in towards the far post, and Kompany just rises high enough to head behind for a corner with Maguire at his back. Yeah,
very, very good header that from Kompany. If he misses that or he's not there, that's an easy header from Maguire from 6 yards, and it'll be thundering into the back of the net. So good defending, but England just starting to put a bit of a squeeze, bit of pressure on Belgium there, trying to find this elusive equaliser so far.
Another corner though, Belgium have actually defended them pretty well. England have had their moments, bit of chatting going on, referee and defenders again. As Rashford whips in the corner towards the near post. He's headed up in the air by Alderweireld, up and over the rest of the 18-yard box, going to bounce away for a throw into England. 72.5 minutes on the clock. Independent Off-Tube Studio commentary. England to join a spell as it's whipped into the box. Lingard crosses, headed downwards by Dyer, wide of the far post. I think Courtois had it covered. Nice little move there from England, but Dyer unable to hit the target.
Yeah, good of a volleyed cross there from Lingard, and Dyer just running onto it. May have done a little bit better. He could possibly be put off ever so slightly by the Belgian defender trying to head it, and it sort of goes over his head, and then it sort of comes quickly to Dyer. But it is better. England's 2 chances they've created, the best chances, have both fallen to Eric Dyer.
As Witsel is closed down quickly by Trippier. He's inside his own half, and well, he runs into a bit of trouble and is dispossessed by Lingard. He then catches the England man. It'll be a free kick in a similar area to the last one, actually, 30 yards out to the right of the D. 30 yards or so. Belgium trying to play a bit of football, a little bit wider than the previous one, actually. Well, it was where England had put the ball down. The referee is just making them go a little bit more central with it. I think it's too far to go for goal. I think England wanted a bit of angle. It's crossed towards the far post. Maguire wins the header, bounces wide off the near post. Difficult to say if Courtois had that covered. He was diving low to his right. It's the wrong side of the upright, though. And another chance, admittedly, from a set piece. Just off target.
Just off target. It was exactly the same type of set piece that they took a few moments ago when Kompany got there ahead of Maguire. This time Kompany wasn't there, and Maguire just sort of skims off his forehead. It's a little bit disappointing, and just couldn't quite get enough on that one to sort of divert it into the bottom left corner, but it's better.
Yeah, cleared long by Belgium. Jones wanted that to run out of play, but it's not, with Vermaelen and Vertonghen rather closing him down. And eventually has to hook it into touch himself. So Belgium have a throw in high up the pitch. As time ticks down on this third place playoff, Belgium heading for the bronze medal at the moment. 1-0 up, thanks to Thomas Meunier's 4th minute goal. Seemed a long time ago when the net bulged. Belgium have, of course, threatened a second, but now England are starting to do so more consistently than perhaps they were in the first half. This game isn't quite done, but time is not their friend at the moment. That's given away by Tielemans to Loftus-Cheek inside the Belgium half. Rashford's come away to the right-hand side. Lingard through the middle. Rashford takes over, 25 yards out to Loftus-Cheek. Trippier, as ever, in support right-hand side. Back down the line for Loftus-Cheek. Closed down by Vermaelen. Back to Trippier. Belgium have just got bodies behind the ball now. It's going to make it tricky. Dyer is under pressure. Managed to retain the ball. Slips it forward to Loftus-Cheek. He goes down under a challenge from Vermaelen. No free kick, says the referee. The break is on for the Red Devils. It's 3-on-2 at the moment. And Dries Mertens is streaming down the left-hand side. Hazard goes through the middle. Mertens goes for a curler. Ooh, it didn't curl at all, really. Started way wide, and England a bit of a let-off.
That was poor, really poor there. Just seeing Loftus-Cheek when he went down. Well, Vermaelen steps on his right ankle there. That should have been a free kick to England there. Again, it's just clumsy from Vermaelen. He's looked so poor since he came on for Chadley in the first half as a sub. But Belgium just showing the pace they've got on the team there. Quick counter-attacking. Yeah, Mertens got that all wrong there. It was way wide of the mark.
14 minutes to go plus injury time, of course. England need a goal. Made a couple of changes. Well, they made a couple of changes at the break, so they've only got one left. Looks as though Belgium are going to make a change in a moment as the ball is played over the top, looking for Loftus-Cheek, but that's too deep. Goes into the area. Courtois claims right on the left edge of his box. Don't think he overstepped the line, though. England aren't appealing. And he just bowls it out to the right-hand side. It looked to me as though Moussa Dembele was about to come on for Belgium, for Belgium, as England intercept again. Lingard to Harry Kane, who's been well masked by Vincent Kompany. Illegally, though, free kick which Kane takes quickly to Rashford. Left edge of the box, going across the edge of the 18-yard box, trying to hold off defenders. Can only find a pass out to Trippier. Floats it back in towards the far post. Headed clear by Alderweireld, only to Fabian Delph. Left edge of the area, although going away from goal. Support comes from Harry Maguire. Back to Delph. Maguire going away from goal now. Have defended balls into the box, aerial balls anyway, quite well. Here's Loftus-Cheek, though, checks back onto his left foot, now onto his right, feeding Trippier one-on-one against Vertonghen, coming inside his club teammate, now to Eric Dyer outside the D, pokes it through, could be chance. Oh, Loftus-Cheek couldn't gather it on his chest. Vertonghen shepherded the ball well, eventually cleared by Kompany. But half a chance there for Loftus-Cheek again.
Half a chance, just couldn't chest it down properly. A poor first attempt there, and Vertonghen does just enough to get in and win the ball back. I have to say, we're just seeing a yellow card being dished out to Harry Maguire, I think, for complaining about a decision the referee didn't give in favour of England. But where's this sort of high tempo been from England in the whole match? I mean, they've started in the last 10 minutes and they've looked quite lively, and Belgium is starting to wilt a little bit at the back. There's been some clumsy challenges by the likes of Kompany and Vermaelen, and England just need to keep their foot on the gas.
Dembele has indeed entered the fray. A man who replaced him, arguably. Dembele made away, and Tielemans was starting today. Well, Dembele has replaced Tielemans for Belgium. The second change from Roberto Martinez. England trying to push for this equaliser. 12 minutes to go, just under, in fact. Independent off-tube studio commentary, but it's lively from England. Haven't quite tested Courtois enough. It got into good positions. Cross from Delph, headed clear by Vertonghen. Only as far as Jones, out to Trippier on the right. A little bit behind his teammates, so lost some momentum. Good ball infield to Dyer, who seems to be playing a lot higher up the pitch than he did in the first half. He still hasn't got an option going away from a goal. Maguire over to Jones, all barring Jordan Pickford inside the Belgian half. Another dig ball into the box. Lingard misses his header, but Vincent Kompany wasn't sure. Heads clear, helped out by Dembele, then Vertonghen. Eventually England win a header with Jones finding Eric Dyer down the right channel. Loftus-Cheek one-on-one, comes onto his left foot, tries to square to Rashford, could have shot, doesn't pick out his teammate. It's cleared by Belgium. And well, Vertonghen finding Hazard, little back heel to Mertens, now to De Bruyne, another back heel to Mertens. It's 3-on-3 as Meunier makes that break down the right hand side. De Bruyne comes back to the left, Mertens crosses to Meunier, driven shot, good save from Pickford, and hooked away. He's certainly got hold of that. We've seen a couple of right wing back stroke full backs score some screamers in this game. That might have been another one. Yeah, that was really good play by Belgium. Again, it's just quick counter-attack using the pace there. England pushing bodies forward, and Belgium nearly made the most of it. This time the passes, they pick out the right players there. Good first time ball by Mertens to Meunier, and he gets it really. That's a great save by Pickford there, right footed. He catches it really crisply. It's one-handed by Pickford, diving full stretch to his right there. Brilliant save. Yeah, brilliant save as England hit back down their left hand side with Delph. Now to Rashford, just on the angle of the 18-yard box, onto his right foot, low shot, didn't connect, dribbles through to Thibaut Courtois, and that chance has gone. Into the latter stages then, and it's still Belgium 1, England 0. So the Red Devils on course for the bronze medal as things stand, but England are having their best spell of the match so far. Dyer had a great opportunity, lovely 1-2 with Rashford. Into the box goes Dyer there. He tries to dink it over Courtois, he does, but Alderweireld clears it off the line. Dyer then had a header which went wide of the mark, as did Maguire from a free kick set piece for Belgium. Well, they nearly got a second goal to kill this game off there. Quick counter-attack. Mertens plays a first-time cross towards Meunier in the box, right-footed volley. Catches it crisply, really good hit by Meunier, but one-handed Pickford to his right-hand side gets the save. It's Belgium 1, England 0. Poor cross from Rashford has led to a Belgium break as Eden Hazard, the Chelsea man, picks it up. Support again is slow in arriving on this occasion, and he waits. He holds up the ball brilliantly though for his team, and that support comes from Mertens. Now Witsel going back towards the halfway line for Vertonghen. Mertens back to Witsel, trying to work the triangles. Infield to De Bruyne, just momentarily lost sight of the ball. Still quick enough to retain the ball under pressure from Lingard. Now Vertonghen back into his own half to Vermaelen. He pointed to Courtois to come out and claim, and he does. Vincent Kompany forward to Witsel. Now De Bruyne turning on the halfway line. It's a pretty flat back five for England. Teases it through. Oh, Jones has got his feet wrong. Hazard into the box. Could be two. It is two. Beats Pickford at his near post. Simple stuff from Belgium. Lovely finish from Hazard, but really that ball should have been intercepted by Phil Jones. He got it all wrong, and that should be the game. 2-0. Well, you feel it's game over now because Belgium have extended their advantage. It's Belgium 2, England 0, and it's Eden Hazard, the skipper, who's got himself on the score sheet. But preventable, this goal certainly was for England. It's a mistake by Phil Jones at the back. It's Eden Hazard's third goal in 6 matches at this World Cup there. But really, it's a ball played through, and Phil Jones just gets himself in a bit of a tangle with his feet, really. He's backpedaling. He's playing Hazard on as well, and he should cut the ball out. He doesn't. It allows Hazard just to drive into the box, gets ahead of Jones and smashes it past Pickford into the bottom left corner. Belgium on course for the bronze medal now. Belgium 2, England 0. Yeah, he's facing the wrong way, I suppose, and he tried to sort of backheel, sort of step out a leg behind him and intercept, but of course, not only did he miss the ball, he lost a little bit of momentum, and then he couldn't recover, and Hazard is one-on-one with Jordan Pickford. Not a lot that the Everton keeper could do about that one, with only 7 and a fraction minutes left. That's surely too much for England to recover. I'm sure they'll have a go for it though, as Harry Kane is the target, but Vermaelen's strong enough to clear and find Dembele. Now to Vertonghen, 2 Spurs players combining. Hazard, De Bruyne, who does have Vertonghen going on the overlap. A little bit nonchalant from De Bruyne, doesn't get it quite through. Vertonghen now has got the long chase to get back into position, helped out by Mertens, fouling Eric Dyer. Free kick to England, 10 yards or so inside their own half. Dele Alli is going to come onto the pitch in a moment, and he's coming on for Ruben Loftus-Cheek. So not quite going kitchen sink, like for like, effectively.
Yeah, I don't really see the point in that. Bring Dele Alli on, that's fine, but just take a defender off. I mean, you're 2-0 down, you've got to go for it, really. But like for like, I don't think is really going to do it. Thought Loftus-Cheek had, well, look, decent in spells in this game. He's certainly got something about him. I think it's just getting a bit more consistent with his end product. But certainly, I feel he should be in the England squad probably for years to come.
Stones rather, out to Trippier, forward to Lingard, back to Trippier. Ali makes a run through the middle, but Trippier's lofted ball down the line is blocked by Vertonghen into touch. Throw into England, only just inside the Belgian half, and Trippier finds Stones. Lingard back to Stones. Stones trying to turn playmaker. We have seen Eric Dyer push further up the pitch in this half. Of course, he could have easily scored. There's slight miscommunication from Stones and Dyer, almost let in De Bruyne, but instead it's worked out to Trippier. To Lingard, out to Jones on the right hand side, back in field to Lingard. Laid back to Eric Dyer, 25 yards out, just showed too much to Moussa Dembele, and it's now fed away to Hazard. No, it isn't by Vertonghen. Just not quite hit hard enough by Hazard. It then became a 50-50.
Yes, and Stones was not backing out of that one. It's a brilliant challenge, it really is. De Bruyne is just trying to hit that first time with his right foot in. He's just beaten to the ball first. But again, it's Belgium's pace when they're counter-attacking. It's just scary with the Hazard. And England, of course, are pushing a lot of bodies forward. And it's definitely there for Belgium to score another one if they want.
It's out to the left-hand side for England. Delph, you would think they're going to try and commit more bodies forward. There's only 4.5 minutes plus injury time left, so I'm not sure this is going to be a cricket score with the talent that Belgium have going forward. Maybe England can set up an interesting finale though, with a crossfield pass from Rashford finding Trippier back inside to Dyer. Now Kane to Rashford. Closed down quickly by Kompany, goes down very easily. The referee not buying it, says no foul, and Kompany leads the charge. Feeding out to Hazard right hand side. Kompany's carried his run. De Bruyne's in acres in the middle. If Hazard can find him, no, he can't. Hit the back of Maguire. And now England come again with Dyer to Rashford. Now to Ali. Back to Rashford. Plenty of yellow shirts behind the ball though. And England, like most of the game, I guess, not really moving the ball quick enough. Rashford makes a run down the left hand side. The pass not fantastic. Vermaelen had read exactly what was coming and actually beats Rashford to the ball. England huffed and puffed, but you might argue whenever they've come up against quality sides in this World Cup, they've come unstuck.
Yeah, well, it's the lack of, we've said it before, there's someone to pick out the passes, to thread things through, you know, the lack of a De Bruyne or a Modric, someone like that, just to link things together. And like you said, when they've come up against a better quality opposition, they haven't been able to break them down. It's been an issue, not been able to create chances from open play. They have created a few in this game, but not clinical enough, not being able to take them. Could have been no so different if Dyer had levelled things up when he was clean through, but certainly you'd feel there is a lot to work on for England. Obviously set piece has been very, very good, but they need to find a few gems from somewhere, you'd feel, just to try and link things together in midfield.
Yeah, about 2.5 minutes to go. Belgium try and, well, just playing a bit of keep ball at the moment. 2-0 up, time running out. Have looked threatening on the counter, especially with that pace of Hazard and De Bruyne. Even Mertens coming on. And they look relatively solid at the back. England not seriously testing Courtois in the game. Obviously, they've had good chances which they've not hit the target with. A little bit disappointing. A little bit nonchalant there from Hazard. He's lucky that the block from Ali ricochets to De Bruyne and not a red shirt, as Vermaelen has it inside his own half. Back to the edge of the box, finding company across to Alderweireld. In no rush to get it moving forward. Another back heel, this time from Hazard. Well, it's blocked away into touch by Harry Maguire. Witsel doesn't want to take it. He's going to leave it for someone else. I'm not sure if Belgium are going to make a change. No. Mounier takes it quick enough. Back to Alderweireld. Now to Thibaut Courtois. With 90 seconds of the 90 minutes left, there will of course be some added time. And at the moment, England are chasing shadows as De Bruyne then just injects a little bit of pace. Lingard thought it had gone out of play. I wasn't convinced it was, but De Bruyne's not complaining when a throw-in is given. And maybe one last chance for, well, I suppose a little bit more than that. A minute plus injury time. Chance for a consolation perhaps for England. Cross to the left-hand side, and Delph. Not necessarily used to playing in that position, but he has done for City last season. Utilised that. They put in a great challenge to deny Mounier before, but I haven't exactly seen him get forward and provide killer crosses from that left-hand side. He is in space now, though. Back inside to Harry Maguire. Most of the red shirts inside the Belgium half. With 30 seconds of the 90 to go. Again, it's a little bit slow. Belgium, everybody behind the ball apart from Eden Hazard. Dyer to Jones. Looking at his options, doesn't like them. Out to Trippier, but falls back to the halfway line. And Dyer drop of the shoulder. Sends one or two markers the wrong way, and then it's an awful ball in. Straight to Thibaut Courtois. And that should just about complete the 90 minutes. We'll find out injury time in a mo.
Yeah, just not good enough from Dyer. I mean, since in the second half when he's been asked to play further forward, he's actually looked a little bit better, Eric Dyer, I have to say. Had a good 1-2 there when he created the chance with Rashford, and he had a header which went wide. But yeah, there's a few heads that have dropped, and lacking a little bit of belief now with the England players. I have to say, Harry Kane again has not really done a lot in this game. He's not put himself about that much. I know the service hasn't been there at times for him, but I have to say it's been another game for Harry Kane where he's not really featured for England.
Yeah, and Harry Maguire just trying to beat Alex Witsel. Well, he was dispossessed and then dragged down at the Belgian midfielder, so it's a free kick to Belgium with well, 2.5 minutes of the 3 minutes of stoppage time to be completed. Belgium going to pick up the bronze medal. Scant consolation for losing to France on Tuesday. Obviously, no consolation for England after losing to Croatia. Now beaten by Belgium for the second time in the tournament. Arguably played a stronger team than the one they did in the first game, but still no goals against the Red Devils. Certainly, Belgium played a stronger team today than they did in that Group G clash. With 90 seconds remaining of injury time. It's with Trippier on the halfway line. It's just telling Jones that he'll go on the down the line. Maguire to Dele Alli. Back heel from him doesn't work. He's only found Mounier. Belgium have it back. And Hazard turns at Eric Dyer all too easily. He's got Mounier through the middle. De Bruyne to the left. Feeds the City man now. Left edge of the area. 6 yards from the goal line, crosses towards the far post, and Delph heads clear with Mertens arriving a fraction too late. Belgium don't necessarily mind. Only a minute left of injury time now. And the golden generation will finish third at this World Cup. Of course, the big one is tomorrow. France against Croatia. join us on this service for coverage of that game. 2 goals today. Looks as though that's all Belgium really care about. In possession, going back to the halfway line, 30 seconds left maybe. Vertonghen, Hazard, attempted flick inside, blocked into touch, but it's a throw into Belgium. And it's the last knock-ins of this game, with England just not quite having enough at either end of the pitch. Might still have been an interesting finale had that second not gone in, but that second did go in. And the last 10 minutes or so, England have just huffed and puffed without doing an awful lot. Kane wins a free kick, Vermaelen jumping all over him. England want to take a free kick, Belgium won't let them. Witsel is going to get a yellow card. We have had 3 minutes of stoppage time. I don't think there will be much more. And in fact, there isn't. England took a free kick. That is the end of the game. Belgium too good yet again for England. They've picked up the bronze medal. Finished Belgium 2, England 0.
Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity?
Could have been better?
Without doubt, yes. I've got to say it's not the Harry that we've seen the movement. The first half against Colombia I thought was his best. He held it up, he had movement, but since then I don't know whether he's got a knock or something. His movement has been restricted. I don't know if it's mind block that he's had and he stayed in between the 18-yard box, but looks like he's going to come out as a top goal scorer though in this tournament.
There's a full-time whistle. Officially the best Belgian side of all time. Roberto Martinez can lay claim to leading Belgium further than they have ever gone before as they beat England to claim third place at Russia 2018. For Gareth Southgate's men, it was a game too far, but a reconnected nation will thank them for what has been a wonderful 4 weeks. And it may well be that Harry Kane still walks away with the golden boot. It's finished in St. Petersburg. Belgium 2, England 0.
Bronze medals for Belgium. You can see what it means to them to finish third at this World Cup. We'll get reaction from the England camp. We'll hear from Gareth Southgate and Roy Keane, Gary Neville, Ian Wright and Lee Dixon with their thoughts coming up after the break.